Last November, we announced our Integrated Software Challenge to find suitable applications for Lotus Symphony software. 650 viewers responded, and from them we had to choose just 3. They went to Windsor in January to be trained by Lotus, the writers of the software.
So in Symphony, what we have are the 5 different work environments.
The finalists are Bob Gregory, who is Sussex sales manager of an insurance company.
And text into rows and columns.
Michael Inskip, who has just started his own business in Newport Pagnell. And Ken Hurst, who is secretary of the Grimethorpe Colliery Band.
I'd like you to carry on with spreadsheet exercises 2 and 3 on pages 130.
They were each given a compact computer with 640k of RAM. The software, which itself takes up 320k, and 4 days of training. Symphony allows you to run 5 different types of program, individually or linked together. It offers word processing for letter writing, a spreadsheet which allows you to manipulate sets of figures, a database in which you can store and retrieve information, graphs to display your results, and a communications program which lets your computer talk to other computers. The important thing about Symphony is that you should be able to transfer information from one program and use it in another at the touch of a key. This is known as integration. Shocked by their own good fortune, there was only one place to go.
Well, I'm retired. I'm keeping my age a secret. I was made redundant from a colliery because it was closing. My job title is secretary, and I'm responsible for all administrative functions connected with the running of a top-class brass band.
Ken used to keep an index of the band's 1,361 pieces of music in an old ledger. 6 weeks after getting his new computer, he's transferred that index onto Symphony. This means that the band will now have an up-to-date printout of all the music in their library.
And on the spreadsheet side, you will see that first of all it says number, type, name, composer, arranger, publisher, and duration. And you can look down the spreadsheet and you can see all the various things passing before your very eyes. In 1985 we're given a concert where we're going to be asked to play music by Italian composers, and I want to be able to ask the computer to give me a printout of pieces by Rossini, Verdi. I would tell you another Italian composer if I knew one. And it's that kind of thing that I want from the music library and from the computer. I want to be able to do that kind of thing. But so far I've been unable to get the printer to print it out.
For example, Ken's been trying to get Symphony to print out a list of all the band's waltzers, but it insists on giving him their whole repertoire.
And I'm back to square one. Let's send it in Chailey. Don't want that.
Ken also wanted to transfer the band's daily diary to Symphony, so that each of the day's entries would automatically move to the appropriate files already held in memory. Since the Grimethorpe Colliery Band has an international reputation and is often on tour, the entries in the diary can be quite complex. So on the face of it, this is a good idea.
But I don't think that Lotus have cracked that, not so far anyway. And I haven't any real ideas as to how to do this on my own.
Michael Inskip has also been putting his software through its paces. He works from a convert at Chapel, where he runs a catering business using his mother and father as casual kitchen labour.
How's it going then?
Oh, it's getting on.
So far, he's the only one to have got any integration working.
We had a card index system which worked fine but was very, very labour intensive. Each recipe has a certain number of ingredients on it. When any single ingredient changed, like for instance butter, I had to then go through every single card that had a recipe with butter on it and change each individual card. With the computer I can now do it in a matter of seconds. With the recipe that we were cooking just now, for instance, which is chicken Kiev, on the screen now I have the list of the ingredients for one person. We're now going to set it up so that we are preparing this meal for 50 people. So I change the figure to 50 people, enter that. It then reads out how much of each ingredient I need to order, and then also gives me a readout how much it's actually costing me. Now, if we have a situation where the cost of an ingredient has changed, and we say, for instance, that the price of butter has changed from, as we have it now, 6p per ounce to, say, 7p, when we then go back to our recipe, the price of butter has automatically updated itself from the 6p to the 7p, and this is true of any recipe in the memory which involves butter. The thing that I'm really disappointed about is that it won't peel potatoes or wash dishes. That's my biggest disappointment. Having said that, it does a lot already for me. It allows me to devote more time to doing what I should be doing, which is selling the business effectively. It will prevent me having to employ someone, which is bad news for the employment situation, but good news for me.
Bob Gregory is an area sales manager of National Mutual Life. He has a network of salesmen throughout Sussex who need to be sent details of new insurance schemes quickly and graphically. Back in Windsor, Bob had hoped that the software would be able to do just that.
Ultimately, I hope to be able to transmit information direct from my computer over to the computers of several of my agents in the county. It's very important to have a fast communications, because there's going to be a lot of ideas and assistance and information going to and fro between the insurance companies and their agents. And I'm hoping that the software, or the communications part of the software, is going to be able to handle that.
But Bob found there were more problems with communications than he'd anticipated. For example, each of his agents would have to buy a copy of Symphony to receive all of his messages. Bob also found the software difficult to use.
I think sometimes the system treats me with utter contempt because I'm just scratching the surface. I know a bit about computers, but the stage I was at when I won the competition was I'd more or less just learnt to ride a bike, and suddenly somebody comes along and gives me a Harrier jump jet. So there's a lot to learn yet.
Mike Linskip uses every available moment to keep studying, but he gets a bit mixed up following the manual.
With some of the things it's quite simple, but I have found that the instruction book often doesn't seem to have the information that I want immediately accessible. It's either under a different heading or it isn't there at all.
The manuals are a little bit involved, and they're written for the American market and not for the UK market. It's not Japanese, but it is American, and I still consider America to be a foreign country. And although they're supposed to speak our language, I'm afraid that they don't.
Well, so far, one thing our guinea pigs have confirmed is that real live working business systems are difficult to design and even more difficult to write for a computer, however good the package is. User-friendly is a very relative term, and the wider the range of use of the package, the more complex it is to learn. This seems particularly true about Symphony compared with Lotus 123. It's certainly true that computer documentation varies from incomprehensible to incomplete, and at best it's very confusing. The problem is that if the manual is clear and easy to read, it's usually a poor reference manual when you know the product well. On the other hand, reference manuals are unreadable. Symphony's solution is 3 manuals. Introduction, 100 pages. Reference, 438 pages. How-to manual, 308 pages, a grand total of 856 pages to read.